Kick off the new year with Premier League festive fixtures. It's the most wonderful time of the year as 40 matches over 14 days continues tomorrow morning at 7:30 Eastern with Everton hosting Leicester City on NBCSN. Premier League festive fixtures presented by EA Sports FIFA 19. Cold outside, but toasty warm inside the Hulu Theater on New Year's Eve as we send out 2018 in style. If you want to get into the action, play the PFL 2018 World Championship Pick'em game on DraftKings to compete for your share of $25,000. Simply pick up your fighters, decide on the outcomes, and then fight your way up the leaderboard. It's free to enter at DraftKings.com/PFL. As we take a look at the lightweight playoff bracket, remember, 2 fights in one night with the quarters and the semifinals. And after all the fights took place throughout the season and the playoffs, it's Brazil's Natan Schulte taking on Magomedov. They may represent different nations, but both these fighters actually train at the same gym in Florida, American Top Team. Schulte is just 26 years old with a 14-3-1 career record. Magomedov is a veteran of the fight game, 22 career wins, and he had an impressive 5-1 record during his time with the UFC. At 34 years old, Magomedov has never been stopped in 25 career fights. A surprising statistic considering his methods in the cage. Magomedov is one of the many fighters in the PFL from Dagestan, Russia, but he has a style all his own.
If you've been paying attention this PFL season, you've definitely learned one thing about Dagestani fighters. They love their wrestling.
Nice takedown.
But this is mixed martial arts after all, so there was bound to be an outlier. Please allow me to introduce Rashid Magomedov.
Oh! That's it. That is it.
Magomedov is a striker, and he was destined to be that way from a young age.
У меня как-то так получилось, что база у меня была бокс, и с детства меня отдали на бокс, и так и все осталось с боксом. Но
more is an understatement. At PFL 5 against Luis Firmino, Magomedov landed 113 strikes, the second most of any fighter this season.
I mean, he's throwing everything. A plethora, as Elbow would say, of punches.
Magomedov is by no means one-dimensional. He's no slouch on the ground. But heading into this championship final, expect the Russian to stay true to what got him here.
ММА там надо все вместе как-то совмещать это. И не без этого, конечно. Борьбу тоже подтягиваю. Ну, база была у меня бокс, потому что с детства меня отдали на бокс.
Well, so far this season, fighters from Brazil have been unable to solve Magomedov's sharp striking skills. He beat Luis Firmino in the regular season and stopped Thiago Tavares in the semifinals to reach this championship. Now, as for Schulte, most would have said prior to the season that he was less likely than both of those fellow Brazilians in Firmino and Tavares to be here in the championship. Schulte was coming off a submission loss to Islam Mamedov in his U.S. debut and hadn't fought since. Here's the story as told by Caroline Pierce of that challenging journey.
Eu acho que afetar no meu caráter ou na minha postura como atleta ou pessoa não vai mudar nada, mas estava acreditando muito no meu trabalho, apesar das pessoas não acreditarem tanto em mim. Não foi surpresa para mim, eu estava crente que eu fosse chegar na final.
Natan Schulte entered the PFL as a relative unknown, a young, humble fighter from Brazil, just grasping for some chance at success.
Fiquei quase um ano e meio sem lutar, fiquei longe da minha família e tive que trabalhar duro, então até tirei neve.
Schulte persevered, and his body of work this season has caught everyone's attention. He's shown endurance.
I want to know where his turbocharge button is. Holy cow, he came out in the third round like gangbusters.
He's flashed ruthless finishing ability.
Oh, foot sweep.
That's it.
Taps out.
That is it.
And relentless persistence.
Just keeps plodding forward.
Yep.
And everything Chris throws at him seems to land, but stops him, doesn't faze him at all.
Throughout it all, Schulte has maintained his unassuming demeanor. For anyone who meets him, learning that he grew up as an artist is no surprise.
Desde pequeno, né? Desde quando eu era criança, sempre desenhei muito bem. E quando eu tinha 15 anos, eu entrei numa escola de desenho que era desenho e escultura, né?
Schulte ultimately had to choose, pursue visual arts or martial arts. He picked a life in the cage, but he might just find a way to combine the two.
até futuramente fazendo alguns desenhos aí das minhas próximas lutas aí com a mão levantada, das melhores partes das minhas lutas aí.
One thing's for sure, as Schulte heads into the PFL Championship, his performance this season might end up being his greatest masterpiece.
When we spoke with Schulte, he told us he'd never been able to support himself with fighting until now. The most he'd made a year was approximately about $8,000. He said more than all the accolades. That's what excites him the most about this opportunity, having the chance to do what he does for a living. Boss Rutan, Randy Couture, Todd Harris with you here. Happy New Year, Randy. How does the Russian Rashid Magomedov become the latest millionaire here in the Big Apple?
Well, an amazing deep field of Dagestanis fighting for the PFL this season. But the difference is Rashid came from the boxing background. Right. He didn't go to the wrestling school when he was a kid. And he needs to use that footwork, that long range, and control that distance against Natan Schulte. Find that angle and that striking and use that effectively as we've seen him do it all season, and stay away from the Brazilian judoka.
And boss, Natan Schulte seems to be underestimated throughout the year. I don't think anyone's underestimated now as he's fighting for the championship. What does he need to do to close this thing out?
Well, he knows he's facing an opponent with a 2-inch reach advantage, and he's going to do what he's always doing. He's smothering his opponent down, just walk forward. He's got big punches, and then once there is a clinch, you're going to see a judo trip, judo sweep, judo takedown, whatever it is in his arsenal. And once it goes to the ground, I believe he's going to do ground and pound. He doesn't want to give up position.
Let's take a look at the tail of the tape for this one in the lightweight division. This for $1 million and the belt. Natan Schulte, 26 years of age, to Magomedov's 34, 5'10", 5'9". Both men weighed in at 154 pounds, and there you see the 2-inch reach advantage going the way of the Dagestani fighter. We are set to go with the official introductions in the lightweight division. Here is Joe Martinez.
Well, fight fans, here we go. Our next bout tonight, 5 rounds. This $1 million showdown for the PFL Lightweight Championship of the World. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. He's a boxer standing 5 feet, 9 inches tall. Weighing in officially 154 pounds. His professional record, 22 victories, just 2 losses, and 1 draw. Fighting out of Makhachkala, Dagestan, Russia, here's the number 7 seeded lightweight, Rashid Magomedov. And across the cage, his opponent fighting out of the red corner, a judo practitioner standing 5 feet 10 inches tall, also weighing in officially 154 pounds and 18 professional fights. His record, 14 victories, 3 defeats, 1 draw. Here's the number 1 seeded lightweight from Santa Catarina, Brazil, Natan Schulte. And your referee in charge of the action is Todd Anderson.
So set to go as we take a quick review of the PFL rules. 5 5-minute rounds for the championship belt. 10-point must system. That's based on aggression and control. No knees to the head of a grounded opponent. And of course, there are never any elbows anywhere, anytime. Here we go. Third fight of the night. Natan Schulte in the red trunks. Magomedov in the black trunks.
And Schulte is coming forward, like I said.
Yep, coming right across. He's got to get inside that long Rashid Magomedov and stand out there and let him pot shot you. It'll be a really long night.
He gave him that right kick to the lower leg. Rashid made a turn and made a back fist right away. I always like that. I always did that myself. If you miss something, you make a turn, always just throw a back fist.
And here's the clinch.
Know. And that's probably going to see the crazy trips.
Schulte using the cage, into that clinch, double underhooks.
I always love those, the knees to the thighs. But you can do it even harder if you want. And if you do it with the kneecap, I think it's more effective than a low kick.
You say you love them. You love delivering them. You don't have to receive them.
No.
Thanks for that
just making sure it's clear.
Yeah.
You never know with boss.
Well.
So 1 minute gone, guys, in a little technical hand fighting early on. If this does go to the ground, who do you guys favor and who would like to get it there, in your opinion?
Oof. I think Schulte, he really would like to get it on the ground.
I think jiu-jitsu?
I think it favors Schulte if he can get this to the ground.
He's got more power in his punches on the ground as well. A little bit more stocky.
I love Magomedov's demeanor, even in his interviews.
Oh my gosh.
He's like unflappable. He's just so relaxed and calm. And even here, look at this clinch. I mean,
well, we asked him yesterday.
check his
in the
pulse. Did he
transit,
get his heart rate up?
Do
at
you
all?
ever get angry? And he says, yeah, sometimes at my kids I have to shout. That's the only thing he said.
A very soft-spoken Rashid Magomedov, the 34-year-old out of Dagestan, Russia. Talked to every one of these fighters and asked them, what would the $1 million mean to you? And he said, I would finish building my home. So very sensible from the Lamborghini that Lance Palmer was thinking about buying to finishing his home in Dagestan.
You knew his wife was going to
shutting that
on
down.
that one. That ain't happening, pal.
Worth noting that Rashid Magomedov in the black trunks has never been submitted, KO'd, or stopped. So Natan Schulte may be in for a long evening. Remember, 5 5-minute rounds here for the championship belt.
Well, you know, we saw Magomedov and against Louis Taylor. Magomedov, he got knocked out. He was never stopped before in his life either. So there is a chance here.
And you're talking about a boost, Magomedov, who took the early loss to open up the show tonight. 33 seconds in, Louis Taylor gets the win to win the middleweight. And just moments ago, Lance Palmer crowned the featherweight champion. And now we're on to the lightweight.
Oh, there was the judo throw. That's what I said.
Uchimata, nice hip toss.
Oh, I forgot one hook. One hook slipped out.
Rashid did a
Oh,
nice
kick
job.
to the face. Now we're underway.
If one is good, two is better, right? I love it.
So it went from a slow hand-fighting chess match to just absolute explosions as someone released the confetti in Times Square a little early here in Hulu Theater. A nice 15-second scramble there.
Well, he had both hooks for a second, too.
Yeah.
And
He let one go. I don't know why. He slipped off.
yeah, I think Rashid did a little hip tip and
Yeah.
tipped him over.
Stretch the leg.
Magomedov
Liver
still
shot.
not changing his demeanor.
Tell you what, that little bit of clinch he spent on the cage, that little fire under Magomedov. He's really opened up now.
I like that right low kick, left hook. With Seiler, I said Seiler was doing it with the right high kick and a left hook, which I never saw. I was talking about it, but he did it like I see. Right low kick and then a left hook comeback. Schulte did it.
Remember that low kick is how he got Jason High to the ground before he submitted him earlier this season. This is a long, winding road, guys. 6 months. Remember, we started PFL 1 here at the Hulu Theater back in June. Here we are settling championships with the lightweights now. Natan Schulte.
Oh, like that body
and
shot.
Rashid Magomedov.
Do that again, and then once you start reacting on it, add a left hook to the head.
Little Superman punch.
I like it also
Magomedov.
when he throws side kicks, he throws it to the head. They're way harder to push your weight than to the body. The body pretty easy to defend, but to the head, it's very hard.
Schulte doing a nice job of kind of corralling Magomedov, and once he gets him to the fence, he enters. He gets right to that clinch.
Goes into a tie clinch. Nice movement to the left while he got kicked.
Starting to see those leg kicks show on Schulte's lead leg.
Final 10 seconds here of round number 1. This one's scheduled for 5 championship rounds for the belt and $1 million as Schulte has a nice little combination there to round out round number 1 here at the Garden.
That was another one. Right low kick, left hook. Been talking about it. It's very effective. Tagged him twice with it. Okay, Randy, you translate.
So here's that scramble once again, guys, where everything just kind of went at once. Schulte on top.
There. I think he got some freaking flyer miles with that one. Holy cow.
And not on top in a second.
You see? Now he slipped it off. Yeah, he did it himself.
Yeah.
Oof.
Oh, nice front kick right in the chops.
You see, but that's what it's so. That was right away after that scramble. Eh? That was so beautiful.
I'm not saying I got 4 new teeth, but
yeah,
got 4 new teeth.
In Thailand, they say it's a disrespectful thing to do because you kick him with the sole of the foot in his face. But that's why they do it. It's because it's unrespectful. I go, okay.
Capacity crowd here at the Hulu Theater, Madison Square Garden, Midtown Manhattan on New Year's Eve as we send out 2018 in style PFL Championship as the season comes to an end, and we start round number 2 here in the lightweight division. Natan Schulte on the right in the red trunks, and you see Rashid Magomedov in the black trunks out of Russia.
Tough to score that first round. I'm not sure who got the edge. We spent about the first 2 minutes against the cage, which if it had finished out that way, it'd give Schulte a 10-9. But, you know, Rashid did a nice job of getting off the fence. Eventually, he opened up. He landed some nice shots. But Schulte came right back.
And he had to take down.
Right in there.
Is that going to count? Because he did keep him on the ground for a bit, right?
Worth reminding you, we've got 4 more fights still to come here on a championship night on NBCSN. 2-time Olympic gold medalist Kayla Harrison back inside the cage. And then we move on to the light heavyweights, the heavyweights, and the welterweights. Finish it off with Ray Cooper III and Magomed Karimov here live on NBCSN.
So a nice little foot sweep by Schulte, and as his foot carried Rashid's leg across, Rashid picked it up and fired it right back at him and hit him right in the midsection with it.
Nice.
Nice reaction.
Oh,
nice kick.
Yep. There's the first confetti.
Next fight will be Kayla Harrison taking on Muriel Charneski as the PFL unveils the women's 155-pound light heavyweight division next year. Kayla Harrison, of course, the 2-time Olympic gold medalist in judo, as Muriel Charneski brings her record of 3-4. But as Randy pointed out at the top of the show, she's got some heavy hands. Still got plenty of fighting here in the lightweight division. Natan Schulte and Rashid Magomedov, guys. And as we looked at the lineup of these fights, this was one of the fights I think a lot of people thought this one could go the full 5 rounds because it's going to be a grinder because so evenly matched.
I expected Schulte to be closer to him. He's staying at the range of Rashid, which he shouldn't do.
He is. He's staying right in there in that range of exchanges where Rashid's so good. It's so smooth. But Schulte's giving it right back to him. Every time he hits him with something, he comes back with it.
Oh, nice. Right. Love that.
That clip coming in by Magomedov. Schulte pressing the action. Magomedov certainly seems to have an answer.
He does that little side kick a lot.
A lot, yeah. And he's very effective with it, too. You don't see that often.
Keeping Schulte honest. Remember the reach advantage going the way of Magomedov by 2 inches. Talk about experience, guys. Rashid Magomedov, winner of 15 of his last 17 fights. He went 5-1 in the UFC, and here he is now in the PFL fighting for $1 million and the title in the lightweight division.
Wow, that's not one you see very often either.
Yeah.
Not even sure what to call that.
An inadvertent poke in the eye. Natan Schulte and Rashid Magomedov exchanging no harm, no foul, but they're going to give him a second to clear it. There's the paw.
Yep.
It's one of those things in MMA with the open-fingered gloves, no thumb loops, that it's just part of our sport. The new unified rules, you can't hold that open hand out there above the waist like that, or you can get warned for that. The inadvertent eye pokes, it just happens. So.
But you know, this is the thing, right? I fought Pancras. This was open hand strikes to the head. We never had eye pokes. How is that even possible? We had our hands open at all times, and then you see it here where you have to have a closed fist, and somehow it happens. I don't know.
1 point, eye poke.
Wow.
1 point, eye poke.
So they're going to deduct a point, guys, and this seems kind of harsh.
That's
It was
really.
I think Natan Schulte's body language said all it was, you know, he understands, but that is huge on a 10-point must.
Okay, but we do not know what they said in the rules meeting. Maybe they hammered on this for 3 times in a row. They said, when it happens, you get a red card. We don't know, but yeah, I would say also that's way too soon.
Todd Anderson issuing the 1 point to Rashid Magomedov. So that just changes things in this first round.
Yeah, Rashid is absolutely going to have to open up
back.
now. Well, he's going to have to turn it up because almost the best he can hope for, at least at the pace of this fight, is a 9-9.
Right. Yep.
Nice.
So Magomedov now, after that 1-point deduction, coming out with a little extra urgency. Remember, it's scheduled for 5-minute rounds, so there's plenty of time. But that is a big knock to his scoring card.
I don't know if I agree with that. I think you give a guy a warning first.
Oh, totally, yeah.
100%.
And he immediately held, inadvertent, and I think Schulte recognized it.
Yeah, absolutely wasn't it's never intentional.
Because of all the fights we've seen, guys, this is probably the one we've seen the most at hand fighting, where you're pawing at your opponent, finding your range.
Guys have that pawing style. They pat punches and measure. And I was just explaining a new unified rule with the hand fingers out above the waist, and he's gone ahead and called the point. So.
Big body shot there coming from Magomedov.
Yeah, Mike Tyson would land an extra right uppercut right after that. He knocked out so many people, I think like 6 or 7. Right hook to the body and then a right uppercut.
Well, he is wearing out that left side of Natan Schulte's body.
Yeah, and he might suddenly change the level on that thing, the angle, and go with a right hook. Because he landed already a right hook before.
So as round 2 comes to a conclusion, we will take you into the blue corner with Russian translation to find out what Rashid Magomedov's corner thought.
Just the way you work right now, continue working that way. Your initiation should be first. When you move a lot, he cannot teach you. Just move left, right. Don't stand right in front of him. Make it easy, then hit him heavy. Get up, get up. Freeze, out. Let's go.
So no mention of the point deduction in the corner for Rashid Magomedov. Business as usual as he takes that 1-point deduction in round number 2 in stride as we now move to the 3rd round of 5.
Ready, fight!
Well, you're right, Randy. You look at the back and the midsection of Natan Schulte, and he's got strawberry fields forever.
No, I was working with Paul McCartney.
I could say you got hit on Penny Lane, but I wasn't going to do that.
Forever, yeah.
Schulte still pressuring. Oh, nice hook.
So now he was going to sing, now it's time to say goodnight.
And it's interesting, guys, the way they've reacted to this. It is clearly Rashid Magomedov who's now pushing the pace after taking that point deduction in round number 2. But Natan Schulte, as Boss pointed out, he is closing the gap now. You saw earlier in the first rounds, Boss, he was staying a little farther out, respecting the reach, but he now seems to want to get on the inside and do some damage.
Yeah, it takes the power away from the guy with the longest reach, so it's always good. Plus, he wants to be there anyway.
Oh, yes, well, I would have thought that would have been his game plan right from the start, looking at Rashid Magomedov. Get to the clinch as often as possible. Control and take him out of that striking range as often as possible. Put him on the ground as often as possible.
Yep, and do it with the judo throw or judo sweep, and he already did. But he forgot in round number 2.
Third round of 5. This one for the lightweight title in the PFL. Natan Schulte and Rashid Magomedov. If you're just joining us, Rashid Magomedov getting a 1-point deduction for an inadvertent eye poke, which my colleagues did not agree with. So he was down a point in round number 2, but since then, Rashid Magomedov has been pressing the action here as we enter 3 minutes and 15 seconds to go in this 3rd round of 5. Interesting dynamic, guys, as they come from different parts of the world. Magomedov from Dagestan, Russia, Schulte from Brazil, but they trained at American Top Team with the same coach, and that coach basically recused himself. He said, I'm not going to coach either one of you. I'm going to step aside, and I'm not going to corner for either of you. But they both said they really don't work together a lot in the gym, Randy. And Extreme Couture, how often does that happen, that you guys can be in a gym together but really not see each other at all?
I mean, it does happen. You schedule your strength and conditioning at a different time. You schedule your mitt work and some of your other work at a different time with those specific coaches.
Wow.
Magomedov is doing a phenomenal job, guys. He's landing jabs, he's landing everything. He's going for the body, a jab and a liver shot. I mean, he's taking Natan Schulte all over the place.
I have to tell you, it reminds me a little bit of the Chris Wade fight.
Yeah.
We saw Chris Wade do the exact same thing to Natan Schulte, and he just kept coming forward and kept coming forward and kept coming forward. He waded right through all of it, and we saw what the decision was.
Which Chris Wade obviously did not agree with, but he was certainly pressing the action and making life miserable for Natan Schulte with so many strikes and punches thrown.
Yeah, but Magomedov has got more power, right? Let's say he's got 8 knockout victories. He's a boxer, you know, so that's the liver shot again.
There's that, that's nice.
One of the few Dagestani fighters that favors boxing.
Yeah.
Would have been a no-no.
He thought about it.
Well,
you want to
nice
talk about point deduction
right away. That was nice. Again, the liver kick.
Natan Schulte, when he does get inside Randy Boss, it doesn't seem like he can get the damage done as much as Rashid Magomedov does when he gets in close.
You know, he should have kept doing what he did in round number 1. Immediately start going with the knees to the thighs, distract, and then suddenly the throw.
He went to that step across trip there, and Rashid responded right away, got his hips out and made it impossible.
Championship night here in New York City on New Year's Eve at Madison Square Garden. Natan Schulte, Rashid Magomedov coming up on the final 40 seconds of round number 3. This one's scheduled for 5.
See, this clinch again. Start throwing the knees, do something. That's one, but you can do it again much harder.
He's looking for that headlock now. Keeps coming up. He's going to try and throw that headlock. We've seen him do that in earlier fights in the season.
Wow, Magomedov is just tagging him and avoiding everything. He's doing a phenomenal job.
And Schulte just walks through it all like it didn't happen.
Magomedov trying something here at the end of round number 3 as Todd Anderson separates them. So we will go to a 4th round of 5 here in the lightweight division. Excuse me, guys. We'll look at the action, and Rashid Magomedov really still feeling the pressure of having that point taken away in round number 2, pushing the action.
There's the liver shot, beautiful. Jab liver shot, love it. But, yep, constantly moving forward anyway. That's what Schulte's doing. And then we got another body shot. Boom.
Ooh, right on the liver. That's
love it.
Dandy.
Yeah.
Your legs are great. You're very, very alive in this fight. Control the distance with your hands. Press it. Keep on pressing. Once you fall on top of him, don't let him down. Don't let him back up.
Guys, you can usually get a sense from the corner of how they feel their fighter's doing, and I sense from just listening to both those, they both feel like their fighter may be in control of this one.
Yeah, definitely a change in Schulte's corner there. Press him, you get him on the ground, don't let him up. They're looking for him to kind of secure that takedown in this round. Rashid's corner seemed like they were very happy with his footwork, very happy with everything that he's doing. Wow, nice right hand.
What a start to round number 4.
Turn it up another notch here.
Yeah, fake the right hook.
We've seen him do this before too. He just turns the knob up.
I gotta remember that. That was a nice thing. And again comes there. You know, fake a right hook and then a liver kick. That's so nice.
Oh, nice foot sweep. Beautiful foot sweep by Natan Schulte.
So the Brazilian has certainly come to play here in round number 4. Great opening 30 seconds. Worth noting, Natan Schulte, this is the first time, guys, he has been past 3 rounds. So we will see as we get it deep into this one, if we do see a 5th and final round, how he responds.
Rashid Magomedov doing a nice job of scrambling up, using that whizzer, kind of neutralizing Schulte's attack from this clinch position. But that timing and the expertise of that foot sweep is remarkable. That is a beautiful thing. Double underhooks now by Natan Schulte.
Looks like leg trip.
Those leg knees, and it's like you were saying, trying to distract him to set up the trip, to set up the Uchimata or the hip toss.
Through 3 rounds, Schulte has thrown 76, landed 31. Magomedov has thrown 161, landed 58.
Wow.
Isabella Schulte, Natan's wife, making the trip here to New York City to support her husband.
I don't understand Portuguese, but it makes you wonder if she knows what she's yelling at. She's yelling technical things at him. He is just a shot.
Look at the strikes thrown. Magomedov coming up on 200.
Nice uppercut.
Inside, yeah, that was really nice inside uppercut. You notice the times Rashid Magomedov is able to neutralize Schulte here. He uses that underhook.
Here we go.
Schulte did a nice job of stepping across anyway there.
Wow, I like that.
Nice back trip. Finding ways to work that high-level judo into his fighting style.
Still attacking the legs with the knees.
There's the underhook. Rashid Magomedov trying to neutralize his position from Natan Schulte as much as possible. Rashid now with the double underhooks. Look for Schulte to use that overhook.
Yep.
Step across.
There
Use
we
his
go.
hips there. He starts it.
Yep.
Again.
Yeah, you got
nice
it.
trip.
This time.
Good scramble by Rashid Magomedov. He does a nice job of not settling. He is not going to concede a takedown. He's going to find a way to get back up.
Under 90 seconds to go here.
There we go. Oh, or trip the leg. Sweep the leg.
And it looks like Magomedov is starting to run out of gas just a little bit here, guys, as we go in deep into the 4th round with 1 more round to go if they see the 5th.
Natan Schulte's forced him to wrestle a lot more in this round than he has any other round.
See both fighters just gassed here with 45 to go in round number 4. Can't even think about round 5 yet.
What kind of gas tank does Natan Schulte have? I mean, he just keeps
going
plodding
forward.
It doesn't matter what Rashid Magomedov throws at him or what he hits him with. He just keeps. Ooh, that one might have hurt him.
Yeah.
That doubled him over a second, didn't it?
Applying the pressure. Natan Schulte out of Brazil continuing to come forward. Rashid Magomedov trying to keep him off.
Oh, nice little hook on the inside.
But every time in the clinch, when Natan takes him down and they get back up and they take him down, I mean, that goes to him, right? The striking part goes to Magomedov. But you see, this is a very hard round to judge.
Yeah, absolutely. All those takedowns score.
Yep.
Of course, Magomedov has to get up.
Yep.
Otherwise, he obviously lost the round. So you can't really score the counter. He has to get up or he's losing.
All right, so 4 rounds complete. We now bring in Yves Edwards, the telestrator master. Yves, what are you seeing here?
Oh man, I've trained with both these guys. Natan Schulte does a great job with this left hand, and as he gets into the clinch position, he's going to fire this left leg behind Magomedov's left leg and hit the trip. Now watch how he does this. When he hangs on the head, he doesn't put a lot of pressure. You don't feel in danger, but he steps that leg behind and boom, beautiful trip.
So nice.
He hits you with that all the time in the gym.
Some more of the action, though, guys. The punches, total strikes thrown, guys. Get this, Magomedov through 4 rounds, 211, Schulte 85.
Yeah, Magomedov, I think he has the record here in throwing the most strikes, right? In the PFL. He's doing this all the time.
So here we go. We are down to the final round, the 3rd fight of the night. Remember, the night started out with Lewis Taylor getting the win over Abus Magomedov in 33 seconds. Lance Palmer goes 5 rounds, to get the unanimous decision over Steven Seiler. And here we are, the third fight of the night in the lightweight division. Natan Schulte and Rashid Magomedov into the championship round, the fifth and final round for the belt and $1 million.
No surprise, Schulte comes charging across, gets right in Rashid Magomedov's face.
But he needs to become more effective now with his strikes also. He really has to start pushing.
You get the sense that Magomedov, with that point deduction, normally would be maybe in a little more comfortable situation, Randy, but now with Schulte maybe getting that last round, possibly looking to get this round, this is going to be very tight if it goes to the judge's decision.
It's a very difficult fight to score. And that point being taken away is absolutely going to factor in, because how are the judges looking at this?
Yep.
Yeah, he's thrown 200 punches and landed half of those, but Natan Schulte has waded through every single one of them, scored 2 or 3 takedowns in a couple of the rounds, and it's really tough.
Natan Schulte, Rashid Magomedov, absolute warriors, deserving to be here.
Again, a nice trip.
It just seems like Magomedov is so surprised by those judo tosses, those takedowns. Or he just doesn't have the leg strength right now. He's just so gassed here in the fifth round, which you could understand. Totally understandable.
There you go.
You hear the opposing languages across the cage. You got Portuguese to our right. You've got Russian to our left. And whatever boss is speaking down the middle.
Yeah, and you can't understand
I can't understand half of that.
Yeah, that's me.
All right, boss, if you're in the corner of Rashid Magomedov, what are you telling your fighter here with just 3 minutes to go?
I say don't clinch, push him away, go away from there and start striking. Use the straight punches, everything that he was doing, landing the double jabs. I would go a lot of straight punches. Start opening up things and then start adding hooks to it.
And Randy, if you're in Schulte's corner, what are you telling your fighter now with under 3?
He needs to keep doing exactly what he's been doing the last 3 rounds, which is find ways to attach himself to Rashid Magomedov, find ways to use those tricky little sweeps and trips, and continue to make him scramble out of those positions.
Both fighters absolutely drained here as they have gone to war for 4 complete rounds, now at the halfway point of the 5th and final round as Magomedov tries to do the same trip move, and he pays the price as he's dropped back down but pops back to his feet.
Halfway down the last round. Wow, it's a hard fight to score.
And I don't want to jinx anybody, but you think if that 1 point taken away in the second round because of that inadvertent eye poke cost him the fight,
yeah,
that's a
it's a bitter pill to swallow.
That's a tough slice to swallow here in New York City.
Yeah.
Under 2 minutes to go now.
If I was Schulte, attack the legs more with the knees, be all over the place. The hands are tied up, so use the legs.
Oh, there was a trip attempt by Rashid Magomedov. Schulte not having it.
The final 90 seconds here in the lightweight division from Madison Square Garden. Natan Schulte, Rashid Magomedov seemingly in a dead tie right now, unofficially. And we will see what the judges think here if it goes the distance. Yeah, see that Magomedov, I don't know what he's, seems to be gesturing. He wants something changed, but both fighters so slick here with the sweat after 5 rounds, guys. It's going to be tough to get any kind of body clinch on him.
Yeah, Schulte is constantly on him.
Magomedov just looks frustrated, like something's bothering him.
Nice foot wheel attempt by Natan Schulte. Magomedov able to recover his balance pretty quickly.
Here we go, final 20 seconds. Both fighters would look to steal this last round.
Whoa, big
exchange.
The foot wheel attempt.
Final 5 seconds of an absolute grinder here in the lightweight division.
Boy, I'm glad I'm not a judge.
I was just going to say the same thing. This one, guys, you could make a case. Natan Schulte raising his hands like he won it. I don't know if I'd be so sure. Rashid Magomedov looks so good the first 2 rounds, and then you factor in that point taken away. Total strikes thrown. Schulte 98. Magomedov, get this, 252.
4 takedowns by Schulte. Wow.
And there it was. That was the moment in round number 2. Boy, great action from both fighters. Natan Schulte had his moments where he kept coming forward.
So grueling.
I really think Natan Schulte thinks he has this. Boss, would you feel that confident if you were Natan Schulte?
Yes, he's got the 10-8 round, right? So.
It's a 10-8 round if he say he won it. Otherwise,
yeah, that's true. It's a 9-9.
We'll have the official word when we return to New York City.
Tonight's PFL Championship telecast is being broadcast with limited commercial interruption. Brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save.
Three hours away from the ball dropping in Times Square and 2019 being brought in as the fans continue to celebrate amidst the rain as Natan Schulte, his wife, praying to a higher power that her husband gets the victory after 5 full rounds in the lightweight division as we take a look at Cage-onomics and see if the numbers give us any kind of indication. Guys, look at the 4 takedowns. The strikes thrown and landed clearly in favor of Rashid Magomedov. What do you make of it?
Yeah, it's a hard one. You don't know how the judges judge everything, because once there was a clinch, in the clinch it was all Schulte, but without the clinch it was all Magomedov. So yeah, we had the takedowns, but he has the enormous amount of strikes thrown versus the less strikes from Natan. It's a hard one.
With the official word, we send it in to Joe Martinez.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. All 3 see it, 48-46. Your winner by unanimous decision, new millionaire and new PFL Lightweight Champion of the World, Natan Schulte!
Wow. Tears of joy for Natan Schulte's wife, Isabella. 48-46, unanimous decision as Natan Schulte is the lightweight champion of the world in the PFL.
Schulte was saying, after my last fight at the WSOF, I had a period about a year and a half without fights. I struggled, lived on my own here in the States, plowing snow, doing numerous other jobs. It was tough. Now I'm having fun, and now he's a millionaire. So his life changed dramatically over the last year.
Natan Schulte gets the win. We send it in to Caroline Pierce.
Thanks, Todd. Natan, we're about to present you, congratulations, with your $1 million check by Peter Murray. Your wife is here with you as well. Sponsored by Geico, $1 million, and the championship belt. Natan, you said it wasn't about the money, it was about the belt and just supporting your training, but now you have it in your hand. How do you feel?
Você falou para na entrevista que isso não era sobre o dinheiro, que era sobre o cinturão. Agora você tem o cinturão e o dinheiro.
I speak a little English. Thank you, New York. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, my Jesus Christ. Thank you, my God, my life, my family, my team, my coach. Thank you, everybody. I speak Português. Eu nunca lutei por dinheiro, eu sempre lutei porque eu amo fazer isso. E hoje eu tive a oportunidade do PFL me dar essa oportunidade de estar ganhando $1 milhão. Para mim é incrível, mas sempre quem me sustentou foi Deus, Jesus Cristo, que me abençoou e que fez hoje eu estar aqui. E que hoje se eu estou aqui é por Jesus Cristo.
I never fought for money. I just fought because I love doing this, and PFL gave me the opportunity to do what I love and make money while doing so in order to support my training. So money was never the one thing that supported me. It's always been Jesus Christ, and that's the reason why I'm here today.
Look, you've made such a huge development throughout this PFL season. You've gone through earning no more than $8,000 in a year for fighting to now $1 million. What do you attribute that growth and development to?
Você chegou aqui, como você falou, na PFL, fazendo $8 mil por ano lutando, e agora fazendo $1 milhão. Como é que você sente?
It's amazing. Eu estou muito feliz. Pô, olha só, em um ano ganhei $1 milhão. Onde eu ia ganhar isso? O PFL me proporcionou isso e Deus que me abençoou. Eu só tenho a agradecer.
I'm extremely happy. What else could I be doing to make $1 million in a year? I'm so grateful for this opportunity that PFL has given me, and this is absolutely amazing.
Okay, congratulations, Natan Schulte.
Queria agradecer ao Den que me deu a oportunidade de vir treinar, o meu coach, Parrumpinha, ao Catel, ao Macarrão, a todo mundo, ao VV, ao Kona. Obrigado a todo mundo, galera, e agradeço muito a Jesus Cristo. Amém.
I want to thank everyone at ATT, Dan Lambert, my coaches, Pahumpa, Catel, Macarrão, Dan Lambert, everyone from ATT, my family, and Jesus Christ. Thank you, everyone.
Back to you, Todd.
Congratulations, Natan Schulte, the latest millionaire here in the PFL, as he gets the unanimous decision over Rashid Magomedov as they go the 5 full rounds. 3 champions have been crowned, 3 more still to go as Natan Schulte claims the lightweight belt in the PFL with his wife cage side here in the Big Apple on New Year's Eve. Still to come on the docket tonight, we've got Vinny Magalash taking on Sean O'Connell in the light heavyweight division. Felipe Lins at Josh Copeland. And Ray Cooper III will be the last fight of the night, taking on Magomed Karimov. But coming up next, 2-time Olympic gold medalist Kayla Harrison.
Anytime you try something new, anytime you step out of your comfort zone, there's always a big question of, am I meant to do this? Is this going to work out for me? I've said from the beginning, I don't want to just be a judo player locked in a cage. I want to become the best MMA fighter on the planet.
Right before the holidays,